Hello and welcome to the Breakdown Live Studio. I'm Woman Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya.
And I'm Grandmaster Ernesto Inarkiev.
Today and every day we're joining here to bring you some of the most decisive games as the tournament, the FIDE Candidates tournament takes place right now in Yekaterinburg.
Yes, we're going to show you the insight from the expert, high-quality analysis, and guide you through the most emotional moments of this tournament to give you the best experience of looking to this, the biggest chess tournament for now, Candidates Tournament 2021.
Indeed, especially right now, since the tournament got postponed a year ago. And yes, we'll be joined by many outstanding guests, many grandmasters that will share with us their views. And today we'll also have a very special guest, but this shall remain a secret for now.
Yes, right now the games, the round didn't over yet. There is still one game what is going on. But before we see our guest, let's briefly check what was the games for today. What was the round games for today?
Let's have a look at the standings, at the pairings. Let's have a look at the pairings.
Yes.
Standings will wait till the end.
Absolutely clearly that the main game for today is the game Anish Giri against Wang Hao. This was a very interesting battle inside of chess from the chess perspective, because these two players are positional players, and Giri is always considered slightly better, but Wang Hao is incredibly strong in this positional kind of style. This is our main game for today, and we will go deep in details through this game to understand how finally Giri found the way to win this game. The second game of today's round is the game Alexandria against Fabiano Caruana. We were expecting that this would be the most interesting and exciting game for today, and indeed it was. Alexandria played very interesting pawn sacrifice, and Fabiano responds to it also in very stylish manner. This will be the second game which we will look in deep for today. Finally, the battle finished in a draw after very long and interesting fight. Another game of today's round is the game Alexander Grishuk against Yanni Pomnishi.
That finished quite soon in a draw.
Yes, but it was very sharp at the start. Alexander found the line with a pawn sacrifice. He was fighting for initiative, and at one moment he even suggested a sacrifice of exchange.
Unfortunately for him, it didn't work, but there were a lot of hope.
Yes, so finally this was a draw, the draw also. And the fourth game of the round is a game Dink Liren against Vashilograph. The game is still going on. This is very sharp game. Was from the beginning. Dink Liren was playing fantastic in the opening. He got very big advantage, and it looks like Maxim should collapse very quickly. And it could be very disappointing start to him to lose 2 games in a row after coming to the tournament as a leader. But then Dink missed his opportunity, and now he still has an advantage, but the positional not winning anymore, and Maxim have very decent chances to survive. Still, it is very difficult position for him to play. Many hours of defense he facing. So I have no idea. How do you think? What is his thoughts right now? We can see him. So what is his thought at this moment? I mean, during 1 year, he prepared for this tournament, looking to the cross table, thinking, oh, I'm a leader, I will maybe win the first game, I will the second game, and so on, thinking maybe already about match against Carlsen. And suddenly he have a difficult defense against Caruana, now difficult defense against Dink Liren.
Yeah, he definitely feels frustrated, I'm pretty sure. It is true that he was supposed to be the leader. He was actually in the first position before the tournament resumed, even though they were sharing the place together with Yanni Pomnishi. Do you remember the tie-break system? It's
encounter between each
other.
other.
encounter, right. So since Maxim actually won the game versus Yanni, he was leading the tournament, and right now he needs to slow down. He's slowing down. So
I also want to tell that I want to show a big respect to him as a chess player, because in these both games against Caruana and Dink Liren, he chose the most critical lines possible. So he chose Grunfeld defense and Nader defense, so the most possible complicated and sharp openings in theory of chess. And this shows that when he got his leading positions, he don't try, you know, to keep it to be as solid as possible. Not like don't try to go to the clinch, you know, that the boxers do. He playing chess, and for this, I think he deserves the best words. What we can
Absolutely, a fighter is a fighter.
Yes. So I think, do we have a guest already?
We expect the guest to come soon. But before he arrives, how about we start with showing our viewers game of the day, which is, as you said already, Giri versus Van Gaal. Our favorite king of draws, Anish Giri, actually won his game, and of course we congratulate him on this one. And let us show you the game itself.
Yes. Okay. So this was. Giri was white, Van Gaal was black, so this was a Catalan opponent, so-called. Very classical start. The Catalan, we used to say, when in this setup, white plays g3. So when white want to flank at the bishop to g2, this is called Catalan system. I want to tell that both players played many games in Catalan with both colors, with black, with white. As I can remember, Giri was beating Vladimir Kramnik maybe even few times with this system with white. So Giri is one of the leading experts in this system. So I was quite surprised with Van Gaal choice. And especially it was a very big surprise that he chose to play this line, the line with d takes c4, because this line has a reputation as a passive line, but this is part of the chess, I should say. When you play with black pieces, no, this is quite normal that you try to equalize, and generally you accept the draw as a possibility. But contrary to what Maxim is doing in this tournament, we can compare. So this is completely another strategy. So Van Gaal with black pieces want just to equalize position completely and want to be solid. Don't give many chances for the white.
So he goes with the basic and the most solid approach.
Yes. Okay. We can call it Chinese wall. You can say you can say this. Okay. So this is the start when the real battle is starting. So in this position, two moves is quite popular, bishop f4 and bishop g5. If white goes bishop g5, this gives black the possibility to improve the position of the bishop from c6. So bishop d5 is the main move, bishop e4, queen c1, and so on. This is how the theory starts in this line. But what did Giri after this game? It looks for me like the most natural way of playing this position, because it looks like he got a better position without doing something special. So he played bishop f4. Black can't go bishop d5 right now, because obviously the pawn on c7 will be hanging. So
that would be just a blunder of a pawn.
Yes, so he needs to protect this pawn, and this is still a theory, of course. Bishop d6 he played. And now Giri just developing the pieces. Now knight c3, change the bishops looks very logical. a5 is also a very logical decision for the black, because otherwise white can push a5 and get space advantage on the queen side.
Yeah, that would be too passive. This would be the point when it would be too much.
Yes, it will be too much. And after a5, we can see that black is still keep white's out of the border. Yeah? So white pieces is still on the side of white. But at the same time, we can see that pawns a4, d4, f4, white have just much more active pawns. And because of that, they have a space advantage. Okay, so after a5, some normal move. And this is already a rare position. It was played in the top level. But it's not easy to say which move is main here. Knight e5 also was played, and now for me it looks like the most natural way of playing. Knight e5, change, c6. This is more or less logical, and this position I meant when I was telling that it was surprised that Van Gaal went for this position, because when I look at it, I see that white pawns is better, knight on e5 is better, and I don't see any counter chances for the black. So if you choose to play such position out of your opponent preparation, this is quite strange choice, because for what? Why do you give your opponent so much to get out of the opponent? The only idea what I have is how have a very positional style, as I was explaining before, and his chess understanding is so high, so he can feel the small details of the position. So he probably overrated his skill, and he thought that maybe it's nothing special.
I guess he would try to use the fact that white king is pretty weak, and yeah, the pawn structure is ruined, and try maybe to exchange somewhere some pieces, maybe swap up the queens off the board, and this would be actually a nice approach. And right now that I look at this position, I would say that black has absolutely no weaknesses, and this is an important strategical point. So I guess in this case, white should go for a dynamic approach if he wants to convert his advantage.
Absolutely, and this is actually what black should do in this position. They should be patient and play slowly, trying to stop any activities from the white. But instead of that strategy, Wang Hao suddenly decided to make position more sharp. So this is controversial with what he was doing at the beginning of the game. He played queen b6. Okay, h3 is just slow improvement of the position. He played queen b6, queen d2, and c5. So suddenly, instead of just making slow moves, absolutely normal strategy would be to put the knight on b4, maybe then at good moment to play knight f to d5, play f6.
To kick this knight from e5.
Yes, and then just wait,
yeah, to wait and see what the opponent will do.
Yes, this is really not easy for white to suggest clear way to break through this position. This is, I even would say more. Computer said that this is equal situation. So computer says that nothing happened.
Well, computer doesn't actually care about any danger at all. But we are human beings, and even if Wang Hao is that, as you say, solid, yeah, probably he did have some worries here, and that could explain the choice of c5.
Yes, every computer have a soul of calculator, you know. I mean that computers like numbers.
Maybe AlphaZero could argue with that.
Yes, maybe even in poem way, but
we shall see in some years.
But for the human brain, it is clear that white have initiative. Doesn't matter which numbers we can see on the screen. And this was the reason why he played c5. He wanted to avoid this initiative. Definitely, he wanted to remove one of the strong pawn on d4, and then it looks like his position would be more close to equality. But the problem of this move is that b5 now is extremely weak, and still his pieces is not really on the optimal positions for opening the center.
Yes, the knight on a6 is on the edge, and once again, I shall repeat, the knight on the rim is dim, so yeah, not the best place.
You know, this is actually the simple rules of chess, simple principles of chess. We know that, yes, that your king should be on the safe position. You should develop pieces on the good squares. You should take the center with your pawns. And you know, all these principles actually works very well in all kind of positions. So don't put your knights on the corner of the board.
Yeah, well, chess has millions of rules and 2 millions of exceptions, so it is always a question of what do you choose, how do you compare two options, and of course that these players are pretty strong. Well, they are strong enough to understand that the knight on the edge is a bad thing, but still they do that, and yeah, that could be explained by many different things, and unfortunately this strategy didn't work for Wang Hao in this game.
Yes. So after c5, rook f d1 is very natural move. So Giri now is ready to open in the file. C takes d4, rook takes d4, rook a d8. So this was idea of Wang Hao. Now he wants to change as much pieces as possible, hoping that a5 pawn is not so weak right now. But after rook takes d8, it became clear that he was wrong, because first sign when something is going wrong is that when you need to go back with your pieces. So in this position, rook d8 already not possible. After queen b5, white start immediately attack, and after queen c7, knight c4, white will just take the pawn on e5. So this is a problem number one.
Well, the pieces are, I guess it's just a lack of a harmony between the pieces, because like even if you, well, the easiest thing that comes to my mind to take the queen, then the pawn a4 would go to b5 to the center and attack the knight, and then there is a5 pawn. Yes, everything is falling apart. And if you do not take that queen, what should you do?
Unfortunately, I have to take with the queen, and this is what he did. And this is one move, of course, normally you don't want to make. And the second...
Quite passive, it's a backward move.
Yes, and can you guess what move he made after rook d1?
Oh, okay. The ugliest would be queen a8.
Yes, this is...
I can't believe that. Well, there is one idea, though, I have to admit. It would be trying to make this discovered check with b5, but it's just a check. It's not a mate. It's not dangerous. It's just like to scare, but only to make Giri laugh.
Yeah, this is sometimes we see what we see in Grandmaster games. I mean, they make a move which looks like amateur moves, because to prepare this discover check, it looks like, you know, hidden idea, a very clever hidden idea from an amateur to make this discover check. But this is, of course, not the reasons why Wang Hao played this move. The real reason of this move that he already have very difficult ways to defend his queen side. The queen a8 help him not to lose the pawn immediately. This is okay, one of the possible moves. Other moves is much worse. So okay, queen a8, and now we can already see that white's position is much better. Once again, bad queen on a8, bad knight on a6, and weak a5 pawn. This is why white's position is much more easy to play. Okay, so Giri played this game is in a very good style. He always was pressing, so his advantage was increasing, even despite some changes of the pieces. And another key moment come at this point. Of course, it was very difficult to Wang Hao to defend. He played g3, but actually this was all further part of the game is about how black should try to activate the pieces. Maybe with sacrifices, sacrifice pawn or two, but it was extremely important to find this moment to activate the pieces. And this was the first moment when Wang Hao could do that. He should finally to invite his queen to the center, attacking a4, with the idea after b3 to play b5. This would put the best way to defense, to simplify the position, to activate the queen. This is what he have to do. Instead of he played g6, it looks like he trying to improve his king side position, but his main weakness is on the queen side. Can you guess which move is best here for white?
I would love to guess that, but I'm afraid we have to put the game a little bit on hold because we are already actually joined by our guests. So, I hope Giri won't feel offended if we put it on pause for now, but we will definitely get back to this game just after. We have here with us in the studio CEO of World Chess, Ilya Merenzon. Hello, Ilya, do you hear us?
Fine.
Good evening, Ilya. Hello.
It's a privilege to have you here with us in our studio. Thank you for coming.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. The studio looks amazing, and I'm looking forward to chatting.
So let's go straight to the business, to our business. Chess doesn't seem like an obvious choice behind a business model. What brought you to chess?
Well, chess is actually a huge community. It's almost as big as Facebook, but Facebook at the moment clearly is bigger business than chess. There is a term in business called, let's say it's a hobby or passion, and business connected to passion, like chess or fishing, is always exciting and dramatic, and can be successful. So for me, it was an obvious choice.
What do you think is the future of chess as a commercial sport?
Well, it's a commercial sport now, so it's likely to continue being a commercial sport. And it's actually I believe it's a big business. Even if you think about money, even in a small part of it, let's say merchandising and equipment. Only in the US, sales of chess equipment per year are roughly $100 million. And if you take the rest of the world and all other sectors of chess business, like lessons and schools and top level events, it clearly amounts to a large amount. So it's a huge business now, and it's likely to grow as can be derived from success of companies like Play Magnus and Chess.com and our business as well.
It was connected also with the World Chess Company, the research, the very famous research, according to which I think it was 2016 when that 100 millions of people are familiar with chess, played at least one game in their life. So what did you feel when you find out this idea? When you was planning to make this research, did you have any idea which numbers you are going to see, and what do you think about this?
Well, we expected large numbers, but let me quickly tell you a story. The research by YouGov was commissioned by World Chess, and actually it was commissioned by a co-founder of World Chess, Andrew Paulson, who lived in London and sadly died a few years ago. But it was the study done by YouGov was huge. They didn't only study how many people play chess now, they also try to find out if they spend more, what do they buy, where do they go on vacation. So numbers we received were phenomenal in terms of what they call a demographic. So chess players are much better educated than, let's say, average consumers in countries like India or Germany or the US or Russia. They are 70% more likely to own a Rolex watch. So chess is kind of in a way a club, and the numbers were definitely promising in terms of attractiveness for businesses. So we liked it. But in terms of largesse and amount of people playing chess, it wasn't surprising. And 600 million people play chess regularly, and almost 70% of world's population have played at least once in their life.
What would be your guess? What is the number now? Because it is 5 years left since that research. What would be your guess?
Well, it grew substantially because of smartphones. When we actually did the research first time, it was 2012, and there were not many smartphones around. Now, chess is one of the most popular apps on smartphones, and there is over 1 billion downloads. Data which is taken from Apple and Android libraries. So it's likely very, very high, and also efforts by the World Chess Federation and local federations in promoting chess in schools. And it also affected, I know that you, Ernesto, were involved in some of the efforts here in Russia. But in Turkey, for example, it's a mandatory class in school, and there are 60,000 chess teachers only in Turkey, so the number is definitely higher.
Also in Armenia, as far as I remember.
Yeah, we have it also in some state of
Armenia,
US
Canada, also. Mexico.
In England, I guess also there is also very big.
You've mentioned chess becoming more and more digital. We know that World Chess has World Chess Club in Moscow, which offers offline chess, but you also work a lot, you have been working a lot recently on creating your own online platform to play chess. Could you tell us more about it?
Yes, we've been working on developing an arena for playing chess. called FIDE Online Arena. In fact, we are working with the World Chess Federation to make sure that, let's say, it is as good as it can be. And World Chess has been working on a very interesting side of chess. It tried to make it beautiful, and it's also visible from our efforts with the FIDE Online Arena. We tried to take our experience of organizing top-level chess events like the World Chess Championship matches into digital and make sure that people who play on FIDE Online Arena kind of feel the same excitement and the same environment as if they played in the World Chess Championship. So the design of the board is exactly the same as in the actual designs. The sounds of wooden pieces moved have been recorded at the World Chess Championship, and even the color pattern designs are similar. So we wanted to connect digital and offline in this sense.
And do you
And
think
of
this
course,
is...
there are other features as well, but check it out.
Yeah, and do you think digital, this is our future? This is where we go? Soon to be mostly...
You know, Ilya, every day we are reminding to our viewers that this is the first tournament after the pandemic. So this tournament was interrupted because of it, and we also thinking how the chess world changed because of that. So what is your opinion about that? How do you see it? How do you feel it? What changed in the chess world because of the pandemic, and what do you expect to see in the nearest future? Compare,
How do you
offline
expect
and
chess
online.
to be in the nearest future?
Yeah. Compare online and offline experience of chess players and spectators.
Yeah, well, it's a tough one. Definitely, the chess world, as all other, let's say, communities, learned to be in digital, and amazing projects by Play Magnus Group, by U.S. Chess Federation, by U.S. By St. Louis Chess Club, by World Chess Federation have shown that digital can be a substantial part of the sport. I think there's still going to be a demarcation between offline and online, but it's likely to blend into one, let's say, entertainment sector, and we'll somehow try to make it interesting, because digital not only allows people to play and watch, but also it helps us as organizers of events to learn how to show it well. And I understand that the current candidate tournament is shown by substantial number of websites. I can, from the top of my head, I can think of 5. So their goal is actually, well, now we are operating in a competitive space, which is good because clearly spectators are now getting amazing output, which they can compare and choose the best one. And for us, it's simply a goal to become as good as we can be, like the U.S. Army, be all you can be, and perform well. And chess surely needs this push, because even though it's been popular, it's been a little bit dusty in terms of the way it's presented. And now all these cool companies are coming up with very cool ways to show chess, including ourselves. You can't imagine how much we're talking about how to show chess in a beautiful and exciting and dramatic way. So expect many things from us and from other companies as well.
That would be terrific.
Yeah. We just got information that the last game of today is just finished. Dink Liren finished his game against Vashilograph. The game was drawn. So Ilya, do you follow the event? What is your thoughts about what is going on there? Who is your favorite of the rounds so far?
Yeah, you know, we organized the last few candidate tournaments, and I definitely follow it, and I understand it's almost impossible to do anything when you follow the events. So for us, we've been following it with the whole team here, and I understand how tough and how exciting it is for the organizers and for the players. Well, the group of players is phenomenally cool and young, for that matter. And I don't have a preference specifically. I understand how it works from the business side. So, for example, with Fabiano, Carano, who I admired so much, wins, it will be a huge boost for the chess in the US, like it has been before. I very much looked at Chinese players because China is a big market as well. And of course, I'm following Russian players who I know personally very well and who are some complicated players, I have to say, and in a good way. So let's see how it ends. And so yeah, I've been following it every day and continue to do so.
How do you follow? Do you look on the games? Can you name, for example, one maybe game from candidates which you remember? Because it's very interesting. What is your style? Because we think that chess style of the player show his actual character. So it's very interesting. What style do you like? Because what is your favorite player from this point of view? You like sacrifices, or maybe you like clear strategy when everything is counted and no chances for the opponent? Can you tell what is your chess taste?
Yes. Well, all right, Ernesto, I can't obviously communicate with you on your chess level, so I can tell you from a spectator's point of view. I understand the game a little bit deeper, let's say what I'll say now, but what is really exciting for the spectator who doesn't know much about the game and who is not a grandmaster is I usually follow it with the engine, in fact. So I see this temperature bar, and the most dramatic point for me is clearly when there is substantial change in the bar. So then I go back and try to figure out what happened. But these dramatic moments are something important for me. And I remember talking about this with guys who who produce broadcasting for Norwegian television, NRK, who show championship matches. And for these dramatic moments, they come up with a specific sound. And they laughed because that sound became the most popular ringtone in Norway. And when people, I don't know, cooked or walked their dog, heard that sound, they immediately ran to the television and tried to figure out what happened. So for me, the dramatic moment is the most important one. I can understand, let's say, what happened, and I liked clearly the Caruana game yesterday with his phenomenal sacrifices. But I only understood it well once I kind of looked at the engine and once I spoke with people who followed it as well. So the more drama, let's say, I see in the games, the better for me as a spectator. And I remember when there was this championship match in 2014 in Sochi, there was this game, Magnus played with Vishanand, and there was this tense moment, and the whole Norwegian delegation almost fainted. I'm not joking, they've been so stressed. So I understand that chess can be dramatic to watch. I just hope there will be more moments like this. And for the sake of spectators, because this is where we get our kick.
I remember very well this moment actually. In that match, the decisive moment of the match, what was happening there, Anand was in a defensive side and Magnus made a move which looks like winning move, but actually that was a losing move. But he put Anand in a situation that it was like, only one move Anand can make, which is not losing immediately, but this move is winning. And it was, okay, there is no way. It couldn't be a draw, couldn't be any other options. You or win or lose. And I can imagine that it is actually a very good moment. I remember even Magnus stopped for the moment. He wrote down his move, and then he stopped, his hand stopped because he just realized what happened. And finally Anand missed his chance and lost that game and lost the match. It was a very critical moment. And yes, very, very good moment, Ilya.
Well, this is why chess is considered a sport. As well. Has the success of the Netflix show Queen's Gambit affected somehow the growth of the game from a business perspective?
You know what? It's a little bit odd for me to answer a question from you because you look exactly or almost exactly like the star of the Queen's Gambit. So yeah, definitely. It's been a breaking moment, or at least turning moment for chess. You know what? Many sports had this phenomenal, let's say, popularity because of the films or popular culture. Like boxing became really a huge deal after Rocky. Formula One had its film moment, and swimming, and even archaeology with Indiana Jones. So definitely it was that moment for chess. We have been looking at films. We've been talking a lot with filmmakers who chose chess as their, let's say, topic. For example, one of the events we organized in Berlin, we hosted a premiere of Pawn Sacrifice. We think that actually mixing or somehow a hybrid of popular culture and professional sport is a golden mine. So I hope there will be more films, but Queen's Gambit specifically helped the business of chess substantially, and in fact it helped women's chess. We recently, let's say, had an offspring from World Chess, an agency called Chess and Company, and it's let's say working with companies and brands to help them get into chess. And they've been having meetings with brands all over the world, and some of them specifically mention women's chess, and it's mainly due to Queen's Gambit.
Mm-hmm. So this is very nice to hear, and generally I think this is a really step forward for chess to be in the topic of the most popular serial of nowadays. Thank you very much, Ilya. It was a big pleasure to talk with you, to know your thoughts about the future of chess. We admire very much your original idea how the chess should look in the future. It was very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of the broadcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. So yes, it is very interesting to know what Ilya thinks about future. Really, some amazing things was done when he was organizing the World Championship matches. But now we
let us get back to Giri. He deserves that, after all.
I have I'm very much eager to look at chess board right now. Okay, so we come back to the moment when Van Hao got a big advantage, but it's still not Van Hao, Giri, of course.
Giri. Yes, Giri. Van Hao put his queen on a8.
Yes,
that's the last thing we saw.
Maybe he was trying to hide the queen. What do you think? Maybe
he was trying to be positional, solid.
Some players used to say that they consider pieces as a live persons, and maybe this is his black queen, and he wants to hide it as much as possible.
Yeah, he just wants to protect it, like any state wants to protect his queen.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so Giri was much better, but still Van Hao had a chances to survive. And my question was, how do you think, what is a really I can say it's a killing almost killing move in this position. But this is a. I want to tell that this is a question with some hidden story.
Do you want me to find the next move of white?
Yes, but it shouldn't be. It's not unusual killing move, let's say.
Well, for me, the most natural move would be rook to c8, to c7, just to take this, as we say, the stomach paradise in Russian or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes, yeah, this is the most natural idea, but Giri found really the best move here. and
Okay, may I?
Yes,
Knight
yes, yes.
g6, pawn takes, queen takes, and then rook
F7.
comes to rook f7.
Show this line. I think
Okay,
it's interesting.
this is what no, this is what not. I spoiled the idea. It's okay. No one saw. We'll pretend no one saw. Okay.
Rook f7, rook c8.
Rook
So
f7, rook c8.
yeah, this is no rook c8.
Rook c8. You want yes, right?
So rook
c8.
f7 is not possible. Black have to go king h8.
Rook c8, winning the queen. Is this not enough?
This is enough, but black can play instead of rook f7. They can go king h8.
King h8, and now if I bring the rook, I do not have enough material to
Yes,
checkmate. I do not attack anything, in fact.
yes, this is enough.
Okay, that's the
black have
point, I see.
enough time for defense. Yes. Yeah, it's not enough. Queen c6.
Not enough.
maybe
Okay,
queen
let's
c-
go back.
Yeah, so the point why I stopped this position, because it's not really the moment, the move, which we are usually described as killing move. But the killing move here is b3.
It's the slow move. It's the magic of the slow move. This is the beauty of chess strategy.
Yes, what Dina just showed is that the main attack, of course, will be on the king side. After rook c7, rook
Yeah.
f7, this is the main plan. But b3, why it's so good and so brilliant? Because it stops black's idea with queen e8 and b5, what we discussed before. So now black simply don't have this idea. If queen e8, there is all the time queen b6, and black cannot play b5. And without this counterplay with queen e8 and b5, black just don't have any ideas. The position remains very passive and just very difficult to play. But the game wasn't over, of course, yet, because okay, this kind of killing move is like a slow poison, you know.
Yeah.
It's not
Torturing your opponent.
Yes. So Van Gaal continued passive defense. Giri continued to improve his positions, and the further part of the game, Van Gaal had actually two chances to survive, and this was what was all about that. He needed to be very brave, to sacrifice everything, and to hope that his attack will work. This is actually very difficult to do because you need to calculate it very till the end, let's say, and he didn't manage to do. But I want to show you this line, and this moment was his chance. He should play rook d1. This was right chance for him. Rook
Yeah.
b4, queen d8.
Trying to activate the pieces for the price of the white's activity on the queen side.
Yes, and this is very beautiful variation. It's very difficult to find it. The line goes like rook takes b7, and it looks like not clear what really black wants to do. But after here, black's idea is queen d5. The queen is coming to h1, and it looks like...
Oh no, that is gonna be...
This is a threat, yeah, but...
yeah, that is gonna be dangerous.
Yes, but after rook f7, king h6, rook takes f6, there is no mate, actually. So after king 8, queen h1, king g3, king just safely moves to h4.
No way, there's nothing here?
There is,
Oh,
yes.
that's unbelievable.
Yes, it looks very strange. And actually, still, to hold on, black must find the only way to survive, to sacrifice one more piece, and this is the only way to save the game here. Queen h1, and this is a draw because of king g3, h4, king g4, queen g2, and we have this repetition of the position. How do you think? What is the chance to find such line over the board?
Well, I wouldn't say that there is much of a chance, although after yesterday's sacrifices, how many sacrifices did we see yesterday? Yeah, I wouldn't be that pessimistic here.
Yes, so you wouldn't say it's impossible.
No.
Okay, so one
Never say
chance.
never.
Yes, I showed this line just to show how difficult it was for Manhao. Yes, a computer could save this game, but for the human being to find such a line, it's very difficult. But this is, of course, very beautiful, incredible line, but it was difficult. And he didn't find this possibility, and later his position collapsed quite quickly. The last moment I want to show is this one. This is what happened. So just white just attack f7, and he cannot do anything about it.
There is absolutely no defense. Yeah, this is a total domination.
Yes, and once again we can say that this knight e5, what was the best piece from the beginning against the passive knight on f6, finally this is what decided the game.
Yes, that's true. And also the power of a quiet move.
Yes, very stylish game from Giri.
Absolutely, very positional one, very solid.
Positional and also very accurate in when he needed that, when he needed to improve his position.
Yes, in terms of improving step by step, little by little, improving your advantage.
Yes.
No rush, everything is under control. I really like this one.
Yes, you know what I'm thinking after this game? I have a thought that maybe posting the Twitter is a very good idea before the game. Maybe it boosts your motivation. This is what other players should do.
Yeah,
Follow
Giri is well known to be one of the most active Twitter users among chess players. Definitely the most active right there in Yekaterinburg. And he also used to have this kind of like a teasing conversation together with Magnus Carlsen, then both of them tweeting each other. That's a nice thing to follow, as if they were playing a chess game.
Yes, yes. And for the Vanhao, of course, this is disappointing start of the tournament. Of course, he had black pieces, but now his chances is really low, and I expect him to play as more safe as possible in the further part of event. But for the Giri, this is a real chance. Now he is going to the leaders group, and I believe that his mood and motivation now will be very high, so we should include him in the list of one of the favorites of the tournament after this game.
And speaking about the players who do not fight for anything and play relaxed and chill chess, Dink Liren. That's what he said yesterday. He didn't have many chances anymore, so he was there just to enjoy, and that's what he did today. And he almost crushed the leader, but yeah, he didn't manage to, but that was a very exciting game to follow.
Yes. So let's go to the second game of the day for which we choose to show you. This is a game between Kirill Alexeyenko, Russian Grandmaster, and Fabiano Caruana from USA. Before this round, we expected this is going to be a big fight because Fabiano Caruana yesterday played a very inspiring game, and it was obvious that he prepared for this tournament very well. And Kirill Alexeyenko also won his game in this event, so he's young and he definitely would feel his power right now after that game, so feel his motivation, and we expected very, very big fight. So it is a chance for Kirill to show his new level of play, and for Fabiano to fight for the first place, to get the leading position. If Caruana would win this game, he would be sharing the place with Yanni.
Yes, it is for sure a moment for Kirill to show his potential, and he's clearly an underdog here, and already showing some very impressive results.
Yes, Dina. By the way, who is your favorite player in this tournament? I didn't ask you. Whom do you root for?
Don't you know yet? No.
No.
Well, for me, it's a nice thing to have a favorite who is leading the tournament, so I cannot argue with Nepo. He represents my country, and he is a strong player, also a good friend of mine. But I also have a lot of sympathy to Kirill Alexeyenko because he's from my hometown, from St. Petersburg, and moreover, we actually graduated from the same university, Polytechnical University of St. Petersburg, and we even played for one team. Yeah, back at the time when we were students. So I do know him quite well. Among other players, I would also go for MVL. I do think that he deserves to be on the top of this tournament, but once again, I shall not speak less of other players. So all of them are quite. All of them deserve a title. Some of them more, some of them less. Ernesto, who is your favorite in this tournament?
I divide the players from the person, things for the whom I just wish they have a good success, and this is definitely Yanni Pomnishi, with whom I played many games with. Okay, was in kind of train sessions together, so we played for one team. But also I have players which I like very much from the chess point of view, and from the chess point of view I have three players games of whom I like to watch very much. So this is Fabiano, Caruana, Dink, Liren, and also Yanni Pomnishi. So if one of them will show their best and win the tournament, I will be happy as a spectator.
And as a commentator.
Yes. Okay, so let's come to the second game of today's. This is a game Alexandria Kirill against Fabiano Caruana. Alexandria Kirill had white pieces. And he started e4. This is his main weapon for many, many years. So it was easy for Fabiano to understand what to prepare. Italian game, this quite common choice for Kirill. He played this, I think now this is his main weapon. Yeah. So first move was quite predictable. We could guess what.
Yeah, everyone knows this, even the beginners. This is
Yes.
actually the first thing the beginners learn in chess.
You know, actually, maybe a few weeks ago I saw the game from 7th century played in this line.
Oh wow, already. Yeah, this is one of the oldest lines in chess that exist. And it is actually funny that it wasn't, it didn't used to be that popular until a couple of years, I would say. It kind of revived. It is coming back to the world as you know, as the dressing styles that get forgotten and then return to the market.
Yeah,
it's the same for this opening, I suggest.
I feel magic when I think that this position was on the board between players 400 years ago, you know. So just, I don't know, it's just connection, time connection. You can ask the player what he think about this position, and he write his thoughts in the book. Okay, so nowadays this is topical line. And h6 considered to be one of the main setup for black. Another plan is to make a castle and try to play d5 as quickly as possible. h6 is a more slow way of playing this position. The idea of h6 is quite obvious, to avoid the line with bishop g5. So this is a simple prophylactic. Castle d6. Now black should already play d6 because otherwise d4 will be dangerous for them.
And this opening is usually whoever is the first gets it all. So
Yes.
you don't need to hurry to break through the center.
Yes. d6, rook e1, castle. So this position is about going d4 for white and d5 for black. So generally who make this move first, he can fight for initiative. This is about. h3, I should say that more common move here is not b2, d2. h3 considered to be more slow move that position requires, maybe a bit too slow.
Trying to avoid bishop g4, I would say, and the pin which could later on affect on our plans to push d4.
Yes.
This would be the reason for me.
Also, it's always curious what really players remember from this point of view, because especially in this line, it's very difficult to remember exactly move order. You remember, of course, the plans, the ideas, which piece you should change to the left, but it's very difficult to remember which move you should make first. So for me, it's curious if Kirill forgets something or not. Okay, h3. And after h3, this is already not so typical move, bishop b6, because mainly one of the problems of the position is that d4 is always a threat for black, and black tried to remove the bishop from c5. But normally, the normal way to do it, and quite popular, a6 or a5 first, and then bishop a7 to hide the bishop as far as possible. Bishop b6 is the problem of the move bishop b6, that the bishop can be attacked after knight bd2, and at some moment knight to c4, the bishop can be attacked by the knight, and this can be a problem for black.
Yeah, we shall admit that this bishop is super strong here. In fact, I would even consider it as the strongest piece of black.
Yes, right now it is the strongest piece, correct. So knight bd2 now, knight e7. This is another typical moment because we can see that the knight don't have moves forward right now.
Do you know how it's called? It's called the barrier in chess strategy. This pawn actually restricting the knight like this. Just one single pawn restricts the whole knight. Can you imagine?
Yeah, this is a powerful pawn, very powerful pawn. So it is obvious that Caruana want to improve his knight. So his plan after knight e7, he want to put the knight to g6, and where the knight have a future to come to f4 at some moment, and also take in very good position for the knight. Now, starting from this moment, we can see very interesting strategical fight between players. So once knight went from the center, Kirill is starting to attack the center immediately.
Which is normal.
Yeah, this is very logical decision. He plays d4. And suddenly, Caruana goes back. So instead of going knight to g6, he plays knight c6, attacking the d4 square. The point is, it is not easy for white to defend it. If you go knight f1 right now, then black have these options. Black can just take e takes d4, c takes d4, and play d5. And we can see that black get amazing position. All pieces are ready to play. The bishop will come to e6, d4 pawn is under attack, so this would be the dream for black in this opening. That's why knight f1 is not the move white would like to make. And Kirill found very interesting pawn sacrifice. He plays a4, and he defends the d4 pawn in a tactical way. This is very smart, very interesting way of playing. So what happens if black just takes? Take, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4. How do you think, what would be your guess? What's wrong with this?
Okay, so first of all, white sacrificed the pawn.
Yes.
But I do feel that there is some kind of a lack of, well, first of all, black doesn't have any space, any center. He has end space. His pawn is on d6, while white pawns have already reached the equator. But this is all strategy. Let me think of something more creative here.
Which piece is in the...
Yeah, well, definitely both sides need to develop, need to finish the development. So pushing the knight somewhere, opening the bishop would be like a dream to me.
Yeah, that's right.
But
so where to put
your question seems to me kind of, do you expect something special here?
Not much, just natural.
Yeah, we'll
move.
just put this bishop, put this knight either on f3 or on b3, and that should be about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening the bishop.
So this is a long-term initiative for white. After knight
Yes.
goes to b3, you cannot go bishop b6. And
Because there is a5.
Yes, this was the idea why Kirill played a4.
Oh, okay.
So you see how deep the players can calculate the
bishop
lines.
is
So he saw this position, and that white he played a4 at that one.
Let us show this one, a5,
Yes,
bishop
after bishop
c5.
c5, just e5.
Oh, nice.
And bishop c5 is hanging,
Yes,
so
that
you
is
cannot
true.
take. Black forced to go back with the knight to h7, and this is just a very good compensation for the white. White will take on c5, play queen c2, knight on h7 is bad. Actually, this is very serious advantage for white. So this is extremely devilish trap for the black, because it looks very natural to take the pawn. So I found it as a very smart way of defend this pawn.
Yeah, indeed, I do agree.
But we also can see in this mode that Carano also is in a very good shape, so he didn't buy it. So he played a5, bishop a2, and the take on d4 now. So now it's already not that strong because the bishop have a7 square. But now Kirill have another idea. He plays knight c5, finally attacking the bishop, and attacking d4 square. So after d takes e3, knight takes b6. We get the position when black is pawn up, but white have much more active pieces. The bishop on e2 is strong, and also there is a lot of weaknesses in black position. This is why white have clearly the compensation and probably even a slightly better position. So
Yeah, I guess it's quite evident because you just look at this b6 pawn. Oh, it's so ugly. And the d6, the backward pawn, these are doubled pawns. Yes, I definitely understand why this was the choice of white. In the game, there was bishop e6,
Yes,
as far as I
so
remember.
I want to note that in next few moves, Caruana played, on my opinion, very good because he just liquidated any kind of problem of his position. So bishop e6 is a start. Bishop e6, he changing his worst bishop to the white's very active bishop. And especially I like very much next move. After queen b3, Kirill attacked 2 pawns, the pawn on e6, the pawn on b6, and it looks like it's very difficult for black to defend. The most natural move here is rook e8 to protect the pawn, but after rook a to d1, the bishop will come to f4, and there will be a very dangerous attack on the d6 pawn. It's very hard to do something about that. So it looks like if it is very tempting to protect the e6, it looks like the correct way, but what Caruana did, he just sacrificed one of the pawn in order to organize his pieces in normal way. So he played queen e8, sacrificing the b6 pawn. Queen takes b6 and knight e7. So he gave back the pawn, but instead he got very active knights. Now his knight will come to c5, his queen is ready to be activated via f5, and also his rook from f8 is attacking the f3 knight. So this is very smart way to solve all his position problems.
And you know, there's also a rule wherever you get an extra material when your opponent sacrifices something, you should always look for giving it back as soon as possible in order to avoid all the attack and the danger.
And this is once again the question about material and time. So what do you prefer?
This is the discussion we had yesterday.
Yes, you can use your time to organize your pieces better, so they will be better. They will feel themselves better, and you will feel yourself better. Or you can keep your material, your pawns, but have ugly pieces. So this is a choice, and you cannot have both usually. I just want to show how dangerous it can be for white. For example, if white would take queen takes b7, knight c5, queen c7, rook d8, we can see that queen is a little bit in danger already.
Misplaced, I would say.
Yes. And for example, if white would try to go back with the queen, somehow.
Yes, so there is rook takes f3.
Yes, correct.
She takes f3 and knight e5. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so after rook f3, we can see that black king's position is just ruined. And this is very dangerous for white. It's not losing yet, but this is extremely dangerous for white. And
it's funny to look at the evaluation bar that doesn't understand anything, and this is the moment that you want to say, do not believe that that's an engine that operates from the browser, and he's not the strongest one. Sometimes he really doesn't understand. Like here, he shows an equality, but from human perspective, it is clear that the position of white is really dangerous.
Yes. Okay, so obviously that Kirill decided not to take the pawn on b7, so he just moved back his queen to e3, and this position is more or less balanced, but it's many factors which make it difficult to play. First of all, black have knight and black has bishop. This is a different kind of pieces, and also black still have pawns which we can consider as weak one. So I would prefer definitely white at this moment, but after a few moves, this is black who actually get a better position. It was very surprising. Especially I like this move, e5. I like it very much because now this white bishop is limiting with all black's pawns. So this is very, very nice, very instructive move, e5.
It is, once again, a kind of a barrier which actually restricts the bishop. And one more thing that I would like to mention here, at first glance, you want to think that this, for example, d6 pawn is a clear weakness, and the fact that it is situated on the black square would actually help white, since the bishop could eventually attack it and then take it. But that's not the case, because there is no clear way how to use this bishop in order to attack the pawns.
Yes, this bishop now don't have a clear future. Okay, so after e5, it was already much more easy to play to Fabiano, and actually he had a chance to get a big advantage. But it was the only moment of the game when he could get it. You see that he started to push his pawns on the king side also, so he just started to pressing up. But his main chance was at this moment. suddenly he could take the pawn on a4. And this pawn, which is unprotected right now, and this was very, very right moment to take it. I can imagine that he was scared a bit about bishop takes g5, this kind of counterplay.
Yeah, it's not natural to bring this piece away to the completely other side of the board when you're about to get attacked, and when you see that all the pieces of your opponent are actually about to attack your king. Yes, I do understand Caruana here.
Yes, so he didn't. This didn't work after rook g8. Black is just winning, so this was the right moment just to grab the pawn. Instead, he played rook a8. It looks very promising, but after exact defense with queen g4, the position remained equal, and frankly, Caruana didn't have really serious chances after that. Even so, it was not easy for Kirill because he had to sacrifice 2 pawns to keep the balance. But this was never enough to get advantage for black. So quickly they moved to this rook endgame, and this was just a draw. Just a draw h1. Black king is too far from a pawn. This can be dangerous plan, but it is just too far for the king to go there. So the game showed.
This would be the plan, but yeah, it didn't work.
Yes, the game showed that he didn't have real chances for that. Okay.
And that is the final position. Very nice one. Well, all in all, Kirill did a great job, admit it.
Yes, this was a difficult game, I guess, for him more than to Fabiano. Kirill played very interesting game in the opening, but after some very strong moves by Fabiano, Fabiano had a real chance to get a big advantage in this game, but they both played a very good game after that. So this draw shows that both players are in a good form, good shape.
Yeah, and this is actually a good point that you bring, because remember, Caruana said he was actually, I guess it was yesterday on the press conference when he finished his game versus Maxim, and he actually said that he was pretty happy with the fact that the tournament got postponed and now eventually resumed a year ago, because he had some time to take a rest, because he clearly wasn't in a good shape last year.
Yes, this is correct. Okay, so let's see what is the standings right now after today's round.
Let's have a look at the standings.
Yes, so what is the situation right now? Can we see it?
Yes, so looks like Yanni Pomnishi is on the first position with 5.5.
Yes, and on the second position now there is 3 players with the 5 points: Fabiano Caruana, Maxim Vashilograph, and Anish Giri.
Remember that moment when we were preparing for this show and Anish has already won his game, other players still were playing, and we said, oh my, can you imagine, Anish is on the clear second. Well, now he is sharing second, but still second to fourth.
And next players, Kirill Alexeyenko, 1 round, Alexander Grishov, 1 point behind of the leaders, and this is a very big advantage already, so we can safely guess that we should expect the winner from one of the first 4 players. It's very hard to imagine that someone will go from the bottom of the cross table and suddenly will beat everybody.
Well, there are still 5 more games, and these players are very strong, so, well, theoretically speaking, everything is still possible.
Yes, that's true, and also I want to remind that we have very, very strong players. For example, Dink, Liren, who is on the bottom right now, but he had just winning position against Maxim. So definitely Dink, Liren can beat anyone in this tournament. So we expect we can expect anything. Especially
considering the fact that he's now relaxed and he can just enjoy the game and do what he wants to do.
Yes, and for tomorrow, which games do we expect?
Yeah, let us have a look at the pairings for tomorrow. Round 10.
Yes, for the round 10.
We will be having some very, very interesting matchups.
Yeah, the first game would be Fabiano Carano against Dink Liren.
Yes.
We just said that Carano is in a very good shape, and definitely this is his chance to beat the outsider of the tournament. At the same time, Dink Liren played very interesting game today, and he will be looking for his chances. So I think will be the crucial game for the tournament.
Yeah, that might be the game of the day, indeed, because Liren is the outsider, so to be, and Caruana is one of the leaders. So, yeah, I will enjoy this game for sure. The game number 2, the matchup number 2 for tomorrow is Maxim Vashilograph versus Anish Giri.
Yes, Maxim had a very difficult start, but after surviving in such a bad position, maybe he will just got a very good mood. This is very possible that maybe, and also we should not forget that he spent 1 year of preparing.
All of them did.
Yes. So finally, maybe he did his job for white better than with black. So finally, he get the white pieces, and I think we can expect very sharp fight because they don't have time for recover, for chilling like Dink Liren. They have to fight, and I expect that this will be a very sharp game.
I recall that tweet of Anish Giri from yesterday's game. He basically said that he had the whole year to find the advantage for black after one e4, and he didn't manage. We'll see tomorrow. Maybe it will be one e4 again.
Yes. The game number 3 is Chinese Grandmaster Wang Hao against Russian Grandmaster Alexander Grishuk. It seems like both players didn't find their play yet, so maybe this is a very good moment for them to try something. So this is a critical moment if they still want to find for the overall success. Tomorrow is a chance for them. So I expect that Grishuk will play a very aggressive in very aggressive way tomorrow.
And I expect some time troubles.
Yes, this is for sure.
Alexander is known to be to use all his time before starting to actually play. Yes. Okay, and the last game for tomorrow is Yanni Pomnishi versus Kirill Inca. Once again, a very interesting matchup. Yanni Pomnishi is leading. He wants to reassure his first position, while Kirill Inca, well, clearly he doesn't have anything to lose in this tournament. He is there to enjoy, to take some practice, to use his chances, and I'm pretty sure that he won't have any fear against Jan.
Yes, this is also the game we expect to be very exciting because Jan will have white pieces, and definitely Alexandria is not yet experienced enough to play on such level. Of course, you can play 2 games in very high level, but it's very difficult to keep it all the tournament. So I believe it will be not easy for Alexandria, and I'm sure that Jan will put maximum effort on this game. Okay, so Dina, what do you take on this round? Take on this day?
There were a lot of well, we have 4 games, I cannot say a lot of, but there were a lot of moments, interesting moments for sure, and I definitely enjoyed the game of Kirill Alexeyenko. You know, for me, it's always inspiring when we have an underdog showing an amazing understanding, some great fighting spirit. It's always impressive to see from my personal perspective, and I also think that that it's important as a message, you know, for all rising young stars to know that even if let's admit it, not so many people do believe in you, you can still show that one shouldn't underestimate you.
Yeah, that's true that the stars is not that far away. Yeah, you can reach them. If
yes, and we already discussed this previously. Remember, Alexeyenko didn't rise that fast. He was at the age of 19. He was still 25 and something. And right now he's 27. He's rated over 2700, and he's there at the candidates.
Yes, and for me, I want to say that the biggest surprise is to see again Fabiano Caruana playing very brilliant games. Frankly speaking, with all this pandemic, we didn't have much classical tournaments, and Fabiano was not in the top on these online rapid events, which we have a lot during this period. And I simply forget how good he is in classical chess, and this is a very big surprise for me, and I enjoy it very much. So. and very glad and enjoyed this very much. Okay, so this was round 10 of Candidates Tournament 2020. And we will see you tomorrow and every day of the round, watching together the most exciting moment of the games, get insights from the interesting guests, and of course, we with Dina will show you, for you our impressions, our feelings about chess to guide you through the best of possible in chess world.
Yes, and as always, do not forget to like, subscribe, and meet us together tomorrow. Same time, same place. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.